بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before I start my speech, just I noticed that the topic of energy was put in the schedule as in the last session, while everybody has lost his energy to be here and to be awake. So maybe there is a sense for the organizers here also when we put energy as the last session, so maybe people we make them awake a little bit. Thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Abdulaziz Al-Sagr, Chairman of Gulf Research Center Foundation, and to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to address such a distinguished audience in this conference, and also for the excellent arrangements, warm reception, and hospitality we've faced during our presence here in Geneva. My paper will focus on 3 topics, but unfortunately I do not have slides here yet. I want you to speak verbally, but without having any slides here. My paper, as I said, will focus on 3 topics, mainly the importance of GCC in the global energy market. The second is energy in Switzerland, although the Swiss people, they know about that, but we shall put some shade on the energy in this country. And item number 3 is the possible opportunities to strengthen the relationship between GCC and Switzerland in the field of energy. But before that, and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, and all participants here, I would like to give a very brief history or information about my organization, which is AWAPIC, and as Mr. Dr. Naji Abiad, he said very correctly, AWAPIC was established in January 1968. And that means OPEC was founded in 1960, but AWAPIC was founded in 1968 by 3 countries, namely Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Libya, the Kingdom of Libya at that time. But after that, and since 1986 to 1973, the number of member countries increased to 11 member countries right now, and namely they are Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Bahrain, Algeria, Libya, Qatar, Syria, UAE, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Algeria, and of course Libya, Tunisia. Tunisia, for the time being, their activities is not active. The main objectives and goals of AWAPIC are cooperation among member countries in the development of policies and joint ventures for oil and energy-related issues. AWAPIC also seeks to realize its objective by coordinating the activities of member countries through promoting the exchange of information, holding seminars, convening the Arab Energy Conference, AEC, in which Arab and other experts from all around the world are participating, and the Arab Energy Conference being held every 4 years. Preparing studies, reports, and collecting energy data for all Arab countries and making joint venture projects are also among AWAPIC's goals. And of course, in OAPEC, we do not deal with the issues of pricing and production, since this function is part of the OPEC functions. We also, as I said, joint ventures and studies and other related analysis reports. In this area, OAPEC has established successfully 4 joint ventures companies and 1 institution, namely the Arab Maritime Petroleum Transport Company, AMPTC, which is located in Kuwait, the Arab Shipbuilding and Repair Yard in Bahrain, ASRI, the Arab Petroleum Investment Corporation, APICORP, located in Al Khabar in Saudi Arabia, the Arab Petroleum Services Company in Libya, and the Arab Petroleum Training Institute, APTI, located in Baghdad in Iraq. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we believe in OPEC and also GCC, due to their large hydrocarbon resources, will remain the main providers of hydrocarbon energy sources for decades to come. Even as some industrial countries increasingly seek to reduce consumption of fossil fuels, namely here, of course, I'm talking about oil, and fossil fuel, as you know, consists of oil, gas, and coal. But here, of course, I'm talking about oil, because there are some industrial countries try to reduce dependence on oil as such for some reasons, mainly environmentally regulations. And also the role of OAPEC and GCC will remain as the main source of energy suppliers to the world. We also, as OAPEC and GCC, support the development of all kinds of energy sources, including that are clean, efficient, and environmentally friendly. In this regard, several Arab countries, including GCC members, are planning to develop and to use nuclear technology for the electricity generation, in addition to develop and use renewables such as solar, geothermal, and wind energy. Turning to the GCC, ladies and gentlemen, and as mentioned, five of OAPEC member countries, namely Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, are GCC members as well. These countries play a vital role in the international oil and natural gas markets. The most prominent indicators that demonstrate their significance, present and future, are reserves, production, and exports. As for crude oil reserves, GCC proved crude oil reserves reached at a level of 496 billion barrels at the end of 2012, representing 39.4% of the world total. That is well put GCC in the top comparing with other international economical groups. 3 of GCC members, namely Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates, hold about 37% of the world total of proven reserves at the end of 2012. With regard to the gas reserves, GCC reserves of natural gas reached 42.3 trillion cubic meters, TCM, at the end of 2012, representing 22% of the world total. GCC reserves are concentrated in Qatar, which holds 60% of GCC total and 30% of the world total. And with regard to the crude oil production, GCC production of crude oil in 2012 amounted to 17.1 million barrels a day, representing 23.5% of the world total. GCC members play a central role in balancing the world energy market, not only because of the size of their production, but also because of their spare production capacity. Saudi Arabia, the world's leading exporter, UAE and Kuwait hold the bulk of world's spare capacity. It is worth noting that GCC's 23.5% share in the world's production is much less than its share in the world's proven reserves, which is 39.4%. This in fact promotes GCC's significance in meeting the expected increase in global demand for oil. Turning to marketed natural gas, GCC production of marketed natural gas in 2012 was around 370 billion cubic meters, BCM, or 10.8% of the world total. GCC gas production was concentrated in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, which both produce 69% of GCC's total, 7.5% of the world total. With regard to exports, GCC's exports of crude oil and products were estimated at 14.7 million barrels a day in 2012, representing 24% of the world total. GCC members played and continue to play a vital role in the world's oil trade. GCC exports of LNG reached 124 billion cubic meters in 2012. Exports of natural gas were accounted for 38% of the world total. Approximately 87% of GCC's export of gas were in the form of LNG. Qatar is GCC's largest exporter of LNG, with a share of 85% of the region total, and total 32% of the world total, yes. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like here to refer to the issue of climate change, because as you know, climate change is a very vital issue, and it is very, it is, as I say, the talk of the town for the last maybe 10 or 20 years. GCC and also because we in GCC and AWAPEC are highly concerned and involved in the process of the past and the current negotiations in this issue within the Conference of the Parties since COP1 in Berlin and until the last one, which was in Doha, I think. GCC and other AWAPEC countries perform a coordinating role in preparation for the convening of conferences of the parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. By cooperating with the international community to this end, the aim is to thoroughly and effectively discuss the challenges surrounding the climate change issue. GCC countries play a great role, as I said, in this regard and also within the negotiation process. We believe that any agreement related to post-Kyoto protocol should be based on the negotiation taking place in both the ad hoc working group on long-term committee and also the working group, ad hoc working group for further commitments. Anyway, the interests of oil production and exporting countries, particularly, okay, 4 minutes, not enough for me anyway. I told you, Mr. Chairman, I need more than, anyway, no problem. So I will leave all the details and I go to the energy in Switzerland. And with regard to the energy in Switzerland, in the last 2 decades, final consumption in Switzerland grew by 14%, and oil remains the largest sources for energy. as it accounted for 57% of total final consumption. And also I will skip from this part because maybe not necessarily most of our crews from Switzerland, they know about this, but I will go to the enhancing cooperation and strengthening relationship between GCC and Switzerland in the field of energy. As GCC countries occupy a significant position in the international oil and natural gas markets, this will enhance their significance in meeting world energy demand. In light of Switzerland's lack of sufficient domestic hydrocarbon resources, the country is entirely dependent upon imports of crude oil, petroleum products, and natural gas to meet its domestic needs. In order to diversify their resources of oil supply, Switzerland can depend on oil and oil products imports from GCC countries or GCC regions. In addition to the country has no self-sufficient natural gas resources. All of the gas demand is met by imports through pipelines. Further projections indicate the growing demand of natural gas in Switzerland, and this trend opens wide doors for enhancing cooperation in the field of liquefied natural gas trade with some GCC countries, mainly Qatar. There are also broad prospects for further cooperation between GCC countries and other areas of energy industry, and there is a big role that renewable energy resources can play in the future energy mix of the GCC countries. This may enable Swiss clean tech companies to take advantage of this. And I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I have some other, but if there's no time, I can stop here and.